Welcome back, class, and we're going to discuss gender role classification. For many years, it was thought that females have certain traits and males have certain traits. But what we are going to discuss is androgyny. And androgyny is a little different than thinking about how females have certain traits and males have certain traits. In regards to androgyny, the person that is the poster person for androgyny, when people usually think of androgyny, is Prince. And androgyny is where you have both masculine and feminine characteristics in the same person. So you may be gentle and understanding, but you also may be willing to take risks. And you also may have these open beliefs and defend them freely. So it's not so much as falling into one or the other category, but really embracing both masculine and feminine characteristics. Something that is similar to androgyny, but takes it a step further, is something called gender role transcendence. And what gender role transcendence is really about is saying, not looking at a person based on if they have masculine traits or feminist traits, or if they have both. This is saying that we should look at a person as a person first, not based on if they have these certain traits. So really thinking about a person as just a person. So you have where who this person is, it transcends, it goes beyond what gender roles or gender traits that they have. But of course, you also, to help us further understand gender, we have to really look at gender in context, and it's so important. And we talked about at the beginning of this semester how, we talk about social influences, and that is a part of context. In context, you have to look at gender in context to really understand what role gender plays in the lives of children and in adults as well. And so this is a very important, looking at gender in context, because there is a stereotype, for example, that females are better than males at helping. So the question is that true? Some people may say yes, some people may say no. But in reality, it depends on the situation. When there are times of danger, for example, a male may see someone stranded on the side of the road. Males are more likely in those specific times to help compared to females. So again, you have to look at the context. You have to look at the situation, and the situation also influences the gender traits or gender roles that people display. Gender roles also vary across culture, and so we're going to talk about gender roles in the United States, and that is also, again, helping us to further understand gender in the context of culture. In the United States, usually, based on what we have learned and what researchers have studied, males and females usually are deemed as more androgynous, where we have more feminine and male traits, characteristics, compared to other cultures. What helps with these gender roles, the decrease in gender roles, is access to education. And so when we have an increased access to education for girls, not only in the United States, but across the world, that also helps to decrease gender roles. And there was a survey of people between the ages of 14 and 34. And these people believe that gender doesn't define a person the way that it once did. 60% think that gender lines have blurred, and almost 2/3 say their generation is pushing boundaries. You can definitely see that when you think about how your parents or your grandparents may think about gender and different characteristics or traits that may be feminine or masculine, and compare it to now and what this generation believes. It is very different. I believe the lines are a lot more blurred. And so we have something called gender fluidity, where everyone is along the spectrum of gender and they choose to um, how they choose to express their gender, or they could be non-binary, where they don't conform to either gender. So it really, we're really, as a culture in the United States, I would say, are really becoming more gender fluid and more accepting of different types of genders or people that don't identify as a certain gender. So that is all that I have for you for chapter 12 regarding gender. I hope that you all have a great spring break, and I will see you all on the next video. Ciao!